Hey, buddy, don't mind me. Just passing through. And early game enemies we can just destroy. So this leads us, so it is an earlier game area. And this is the other side of where the one inner gaze was, right there. Okay, so before we deal with that inner gaze... I was gonna say, I'm sure there's one of these guys I did not kill. Oh, you give me more here. And I cannot progress any further this way. So this is probably mostly going to be as a place that I'm intended to go to in a minute, because we can fight a boss. Let's down us a potion. Okay, so you're the guy that told us about the inner gaze in the first place. Can I make it by you before my thing runs out? Like the one that we encountered from the other side who said, hey, yo. Nice. Whatever, man. And a doll. Maximum health. So this does continue this way, and it takes us up top of this room. Gasoline, which we haven't really had the need to use, other than a few choice places. And that takes us back above the eyeball. Which gives us a... I'm not sure that's a useful shortcut, because we have to go by the eyeball on the other side. Well, anyway, so Lady D should be, like, right here. Oh. And we have a key. So I guess we're going down here. Yeah, that's about all we can do. Like, maybe we could poke around a little bit here and there, but I don't know if it's worth my time right now. So let us resave. And fight us a boss. Wait, where was the place where I saw Max's memory? You remember, ages ago, we saw Max looking into a TV. Like when we first came into this area. Okay, I hit the wrong button, but I think it was just up here. Like, I think it was across this and we saw it on the way down initially. So, I just jumped into spikes. Actually, can I reload my save and not have you use that? I don't care. Okay, boss time. Fantasy Keeper. Homes a little bit. You gotta jump pretty good to get over top of these because they home a little. Okay, not the worst. If this is all you do. Man, if you're just gonna keep doing that. Yeah, like, granted you gave me the easy attack for, like, the majority of that fight, but even the other attacks, I feel like, even if I lost this round, I could have almost no-hit a second round against him. You know, I healed Max's wounded heart with my fairy tales. I painted a world for him in which he could hide from all his troubles. I created fabulous creations in his imagination that would shine brighter than the sun, bright enough to warm him on the coldest, most difficult days. I'm gone now in the outside world, but I found a home for myself here forever, kept alive in the memories cherished by my beloved grandson. And you came to do what? Was it not to destroy everything that I've built in Max's mind for so many years with so much love and care? I taught him how to stay sane in an inhospitable outside world. I was holding back depression. I was holding back other phobias and neuroses. None have ever broken through the high walls of our castles. It's you! None. You're a fantasy, old man, and all fantasies are united by one thing. They're all a lie. And you, of course, are such an ardent champion of the truth. You are ruining my grandson's life. You are poisoning his mind. You are plaguing him with neurosis. I have nothing to talk about with you, Snake. You have already taken your fill. The walls of our castle are about to fall. Together you've taken away his dreams, his childhood, his happy memories. You've even deprived him of his natural fears. And now you're standing at the final barrier of his mind, the last shelter of warmth and care. What are you waiting for? Why don't you strike the final blow? Do you know Max as well as you think? Are you sure that your castle is indeed the final stronghold? Or is there something that even you, an old man, could not protect your grandson from? I did everything I could during my lifetime, and I've been doing my best after death. And at the very moment when my strength is running out, for some reason you condescended to talk to me. Fantasy strategy never changes. You are limited to a tiny island of safety in the darkness and chaos. You don't even care what is happening outside of it. There is something much scarier in Max's consciousness than me. Something much stronger than you, and unfortunately, I'm not talking about our little clown. Dang. I've protected Max from everything. I just couldn't save him from you two. You know that's a lie, old man. Come on, name one thing you couldn't handle. The name of this creature has never been stated in fantasy. Then I'll be the first to have the will to say it. Stepfather. You never even tried to deal with him. You only treated Max's ulcers. The disease itself was too challenging for you. My presence here is not a merit of your death. I'm here due to all the stress and misery Max's stepfather has caused over the years. The stepfather lives incredibly deep in the mind of the boy. I want to bring all Max's pain out. I do not wish to watch any longer while this abscess grows. I want to open it now. It is reckless to challenge the stepfather. We smashed you to smithereens, old man, despite you not being as weak as you look. When I stood alone, victory over you was not mine. Can you imagine what will happen if we join forces? I know that you can. Fantasy is your domain. Are you proposing a union of depression and fantasy? That's absurd. Your choice, old man. It is not between maintaining your position as the fantasy keeper or uniting with me. Your choice is as follows. You either join us now, or you disappear forever. Would you dare to leave Max without any remnants of fantasy, without any hope for candles to ever light up your castles again? There is no choice. But we cannot approach Max's stepfather yet. This is a temporary difficulty. There are only a few minor obstacles. Now listen, little clown. In Max's consciousness, weak, barely alive neurosis, our methods of psychological defense are still lurking. They hide behind the long rows of needles that Max has erected like fences. Among them, hylophobia, venustrophobia, and a small but very vivid memory of a concert. I can get you through the needles, clown. I have to become a part of you. You obtained a new ability. Fantasy Keeper. Ah, and now we're over here to watch Max's memory. There you are, you little idiot. Why is this a memory, I wonder? This should be happening live. What? How long have I been here? I remembered all the stories Grandpa told me, but I forgot about the time. The man himself. Max, your irresponsibility amazes me. Your worthless grandfather clearly didn't have a clue how to bring you up. Get off your lazy backside. But I said get up, and take that stupid hat off. I'm embarrassed to be seen with you in it. This is our goodbye. I didn't say a single word to you, Grandpa. We've been torn apart again, and neither of us gets a say. There is no justice in my life. Your mother keeps clucking, "Where's Max? Where is Max?" like a chicken. Do you think I enjoy hearing her constant whining about you? Get in the car. I've been looking for you everywhere. I'll be taking your pocket money for the petrol. My mother gives me that money. It isn't his. I know why he was really out looking for me. He wasn't worried about me. He'd be glad if I disappeared. Except if I disappear, he won't be able to attack me anymore. My mother isn't enough for him. Will he be silent the whole way? I hate his angry silence. I've no idea what he'll do next. But I hate it more when he starts talking. Right, that's it. Out of the car. What? Have you gone deaf? Get out! You look so disgusting, it's making me sick. You can walk back. Let it be a lesson. Disgusting? Why didn't he ask what happened to me? After fighting Lucas, half of me is numb, and the other half hurts like heck. I look and feel like a bag of slop. I left my scooter by Grandpa's grave. I really will have to walk. It's about an hour from here. And what hurts me the most? I know what he'll do while I'm limping back. He'll get home. He'll march in without taking his shoes off, without a word to my mother. He'll silently go to the bathroom. He'll get a sock and put a bar of soap in it. Why? Because he's full of rage. And soap in a sock has an interesting feature. It doesn't leave bruises. I know that well. So does my mother. While he hits her, describing how disgusting her son is, I'm trudging through the forest. All I can do is hope he's asleep by the time I'm back. And maybe I'll make it to bed without more pain. Kid's got it rough. Like, for that to be the parent that you're living with. So let's go ahead and try out Fantasy Keeper, which I already had equipped. Whee! He'll take you over the needles by being a moving platform for you. There's also needles to the left. Oh, when I use it, I automatically jump. Hop. A lot of balloons. Yeah, come back here and try that again. Okay, I'm getting kind of tired of these things. Like, they move fast enough, and your angle of attack is just a little awkward. You know what? You can just stay down there. So we could have continued going down. This is the other direction. And this leads us back up in here. Which actually would have got us past the first eyeball. Not that we especially need to. Yeah, fight me on flat ground. See how it goes for you. Okay, so we can save and stop. So made quite a bit of progress today, and with Fantasy Keeper down, Max can no longer resort to his grandfather's fantasies to get him out of trouble, which is another major thing preventing him from confronting his problems, specifically his stepfather. Though I imagine a fear of the stepfather himself is the biggest ordeal. And on top of that, Fantasy Keeper has even joined our side. For a different reason, I'm sure. Lady D wants to take down the stepfather, and she wants to do it because the stepfather is the biggest cause of problem for her. Well, not her, for Max. Which means he is her greatest source of food. If we can best him, we will be. Or she will be for her own sake. The Fantasy Keeper, on the other hand, obviously wants the stepfather gone because of what he's doing to Max. Now, one may wonder how people could get into a relationship like this. If this is how the stepfather treats even the mother, why is she still with him? How did she get with him in the first place? And I think a lot of people think that everything is exactly as it is. When they ask that question, a lot of people think everything is as it is at face value. And there's not a lot deeper. But I'm sure there is, especially in situations like this. For someone like him, he probably was initially quite charming and supportive. Probably showed up while she was in trouble, let's say. Simply being on her own. Because I don't know how long the two of them have been together. Max only moved in so long ago, but Max has obviously been interacting with this guy for quite some time. So we don't know if it's perhaps after Max's real father left, perhaps his mother was in some dire straits, maybe emotionally and financially. Stepfather came in, being quite charming and supportive, helping her through a tough time, and they grew attached to each other. And then once this happened, his true colors started to shine. The question then, of course, becomes, is the stepfather inherently evil? Was he fooling her into thinking that this is how, in order to get on her good side? And maybe, but maybe also that's just an inherent quality of his own that he's using. He's obviously a very controlling person. Wants everybody to do everything how he wants it done. And so this could have been very simple, as he knew that perhaps the mother, being in emotional and perhaps financial dire straits, if he was nice to her and supportive to her, he would get her to act how he wanted. It's all about doing something yourself to get the response you want out of the other. Which initially could have been that. And as time has gone on, perhaps that has been less successful. But in being less successful, maybe she's still dependent on him. Perhaps if she didn't have him, she wouldn't be in a financial position to take care of herself and Max. Perhaps she can't leave. Perhaps she's been fooled, gaslit even, into thinking that this is what she deserves. This is appropriate for her. This is just for her. Which I would not put it past him to have gaslit her into this situation. And now, if she's completely dependent on him, scared even, to go away. If she tries to leave him, who knows what he'll do. And if that's the case, he still has to enforce, somehow, to get what he wants. And he found physical violence being an appropriate way to get it. Or should I say, an effective way to get it. The way the mind works and the way social situations work can be very complicated. And so, as usual, is there something they could do to get out of this position? Maybe. Is it something they're really capable of? Maybe not. Until next time, everyone, now that the Fantasy Keeper is on our side, we have to gain a last little bit of strength by cleaning Max's mind before we can truly confront his final fear.